There's so much pressure and judged on what we've done in our work and all of these pieces and the ritual of becoming a man. And is that something that you see as one of those pieces where you're like, wait a second, this is a fascist, or this is something that's really out of whack?
But it's an out of whack that has already changed quite a bit. I mean, probably the most important change for modern man is the invention of fatherhood. Fatherhood that is no longer solely defined by being a provider and by the materiality, but fatherhood in which you can become an emotional unit, a father that has an emotional relationship with his children, fathers that spend way more time with their children than any of the generations before. So I think that there has been a major shift, which is that if people worked a lot before, and because they had to, that's a different story, versus those who want to. But in the past, they probably didn't experience the same kind of conflict, because it's not like they wanted to be home with their children and they were working and then they were justifying their working because after all they're doing it for their children, but they will not see those children enough while they're doing all of this stuff for them. Yeah, that kind of...
The 50s Mad Men mentality.
Yes, yes. Okay. So now you have more conflict about it, which is why you have men of all kinds trying to find other ways to work without having to forego their entire personal life, family life, emotional life, you know, and relationship with their children and partners, men partners, female partners. So I think there's already a big change. Okay. But I do, as a child of survivors, I will say, one of the most important books I read at 15 or so was The Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, a book that for a while has been forgotten and has now been brought back even by Business Week in its research on happiness. You know, it's like the man won't die because the man actually said something that is essential, which is that we are creatures of meaning, and that ultimately what will make us feel good is meaning. And one of the things that gives us meaning is our accomplishments, our achievements, our legacies. But the other register of what makes us feel meaningful is what we represent for others. It's how others carry us inside of them. After all, that's why the legacy will last, because somebody will remember what I did. I can have done lots of things, but if you don't remember it, it will no longer exist after I go. So we need others. We are creatures of meaning. We are also wired for connection. So we want others to matter to us, and we want to feel that we matter to them. It's what allows us to move around in the world. I can walk around freely in the world because I know that there are people all over the world that are thinking of me, holding me inside of them, and I do the same, so that I am alone and never fully alone. It's a both end, because on the one hand we are really alone, and on the other hand we're not really alone. And it's that thing that makes me say that the quality of our life depends on the quality of our relationships, because the relationships give you both the connection and the meaning. The meaning not just of the connection itself, but of everything else you will have done. If no one knows about it, has it really happened? Yes, I can do a lot of things by myself and for myself. But does it exist differently if others know about it, share it, distribute it, create a legacy?
Right. So as men, we're changing. I mean, I think about these things all the time. I think about the work and the family and the trade-off. So we're obviously changing than, say, Don Draper 60 years ago, when, you know, maybe it was all about work and he would tell the woman that I'm doing it for you, and maybe he was actually just... To watch the rest of this fascinating interview, click on the link below and go to LondonRealAcademy.com. There you can sign in with your social media, log in and watch the rest of the episode for free, along with all of our episodes on London Real, my webinars, and all of our premium content, all located over at LondonRealAcademy.com. So click on the link below, you'll be directed there and you can watch the rest of this fascinating interview, and I'll see you there.